Jay and Silent Bob are coming back to spoof comic book movies, Hollywood, and more, once again in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. But what if Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith's iconic stoner duo did more than just smoke herb and spoof superheroes? What if they actually went out and joined the superheroes' world? It's not as strange as it might sound. Kevin Smith has directed and appeared on episodes of the CW's Arrowverse franchise, and Mewes has made appearances on the shows as well. The duo have long lent their likenesses to the Red Bank, New Jersey comic book store Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, owned by Smith since the late 90s. You may recognize it as the setting of AMC's Comic Book Men, also developed and produced by Smith. Long before the Arrowverse or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Smith's own view as Universe beat Marvel Studios to the shared universe concept by an entire decade, with Jay and Silent Bob being the main thread tying together many different movies. Smith's films have even had comic book tie-ins, and Jay and Silent Bob have in-universe comic book alter egos, Blunt Man and Chronic, both of whom are making a return in the story of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. So Jay and Silent Bob have comic book bona fides. That's been long established. But what would it look like if Blunt Man and Chronic joined a slightly more serious superhero universe? What if they suddenly jumped from the Askew universe to something a little more fantastical? We spoke with Jason Mewes about that possibility during promotion for his new movie and directorial debut, Madness and the Method. During our chat, we got to talking about the sweeping next phase of the MCU, which will include the animated Disney Plus series What If, a take on the classic series of speculative Marvel comic books. Considering that Marvel Comics has in the past crossed over with the likes of Star Trek, Transformers, and Ash from Evil Dead, it's not such a weird thing to wonder. What if Jay and Silent Bob went out and joined the MCU? If anyone knows the answer, it's Jason Mewes, a lifelong comic book fan. And while he may be sober these days, he knows his on-screen stoner character inside and out.
I feel like it would be like Jay and Bob, or would be like Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson of Earth 14, and then we turn into Blunt Man and Chronic. So it could almost be like a what if.
Mewes imagines the character's origin story as being something straight out of Batman Begins, which is DC branded, sure, but we don't think anybody's going to sue.
Instead of finding the Bat Cave and the Bats gave Bruce Wayne the idea to dress as a scary bat, Jay and Bob go into a cave and like a bunch of weeds in there, and then all of a sudden we're like, there's the idea. We'll scare everyone with our Chronic and Blunt Man.
In other words, move over, Moon Knight. This dynamic duo would make for a much more amusing take on Batman-style crime fighting. Maybe they can cross over at the same time as Deadpool.
Yeah, it's me, Deadpool, and I got an offer that you can't refuse.
Of course, there's more than one way to join the MCU. Technically speaking, Mewes already exists in the Marvel movie world, as do Jay and Silent Bob. That's all thanks to the late Stan Lee, who made one of his last on-screen appearances in 2019's Captain Marvel. Set in the 1990s, the movie shows Lee reading the script for Kevin Smith's Mallrats while sitting on a train, memorizing his lines out loud to himself. Lee also previously made a cameo appearance in that movie. Smith's second featured in the cast alongside Jay and Silent Bob.
They look happy, don't they?
What, the bras?
But enough of this in-universe speculation, let's just get direct about it. Jason Mewes is a working actor, so are there any comic book characters out there that he'd want to play? The answer is, well, yes, but not that he would exactly accept the offer to play them.
I think Vigilante or Deadshot would be really cool to play, because again, they're two of my favorite DC characters. But I don't think I'd want to play a character because I love watching the movies, the TV shows, so much.
Mewes appears to feel this way in general, not seeming to want to join in on the things he enjoys experiencing as a fan.
I feel like it would throw me out of the universe if I'm sitting and watching, Netflix's Daredevil, and I was playing, one of the main characters, like, even if it was Froggy Nelson.
He probably means Froggy Nelson, but give the guy some credit. Froggy Nelson is a real character, so long as you're reading about Daredevil and not Daredevil.
I just feel like I wouldn't be able to sit and enjoy watching it and really getting into the stuff if I was a main character. But of course I'd love to be in any of the movies, TV shows, if I was like journalist number 2 who got to interview them 1 or 2 scenes out of the series, or once in the movie or something.
He doesn't just talk the talk on this topic either. This is more or less exactly what he's done on the Arrowverse series The Flash, on which he's played 2 characters, Humvee Guy and Jay the security guard.
That's my mom's car!
So while you might not see Mewes headlining a superhero show on DC Universe or Disney+, you can definitely catch him making hay on his home turf as Jay and his alter ego, the OG Chronic. You can see Jay and Silent Bob team up again in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot's touring roadshow, kicking off on October 15th. And you can also check out Mewes' reunion with Stan Lee in Madness in the Method. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.